Yeah, that's. Yeah, I didn't have words for it. It was a because I actually wrote the song. The song's called Concrete Pillow, and it speaks about basically sleeping on the streets and overcoming that and finding a home and trying to find some comfort in being in that hard times. And the song, I wrote it from probably the age of 11 was when I was like, I would always use music, and I crafted that song and then I just would rewrite it and rework on it until I finally decided to release it in 2019, I believe, and 18. And that was, it was incredible to be on stage and to share that song, something that wasn't original, wasn't a cover. It was an original song that I got to write and share with the world. And it was an incredible response. I didn't expect to, I guess, get a standing ovation because it was just a song that I wrote for myself. So it was incredible. It was a very surreal moment. I would say it's probably a highlight of my career.
It's beautiful that this reminds people that art, all its forms, philosophy heal us. Like even if it's not, music is your tool, just live your art.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like that's exactly what I did.
What would you say about the system? This is a question that I really wanted to ask you. The system that you've been through.
It's broken.
Exactly. Everything's broken. We're all broken,
Yeah.
But how would you make it better? Because you've been through it.
Yeah.
So nobody better than you to actually come up with a resolution.
Yeah. I would say it wasn't until later in my teens that I found organizations that were out there that helped me. So like there was other organizations like It's Making a Difference, which I work for an ambassador for, and they helped me. I attended their programs and they helped me. So I guess become the person I am through music and stuff. So I would say finding services, because there's help out there. I feel like you just got to find it. But the system is, I would say, not very good at directing in that path of where you wanted to go in. And now I sort of had to do some research myself to find, I love music. Let me find out how I can do that. And I feel like, but some people that might not have that strength on that will. So pushing people in the right direction of what they like and what they enjoy, and finding help in that area. Yeah. Because it is a broken system. I felt like going through refuges, there was times where I would spend like days at DOCS, which was Department of Community Services, which has changed its name now, and they just couldn't find, for example, me and my twin got split up in different refuges because they couldn't find homes for like two of us. So they had to split us up in like different refuges around Sydney, and we had no idea where each other was. And it wasn't actually until I moved into this one refuge and they said, there's a new person coming in, and it was my twin. And we just asked if we could stick together. So so I would say that having family or some relation to someone that if you know that you're going through the system with someone, to keep that tight and not like split people up if you don't have to. Yeah.
Well, brotherhood is the key to becoming a high value man. We all know that.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's amazing. But what I'm wondering is, when you were in the refugee, would somebody come around and like talk to you and ask you, do you need anything? Is the staff there concerned with such matters?
So like some stuff. I have built like amazing relationships. I built like family bonds basically with some of the staff members. Some are just there to get a paycheck, but some are there to actually care for these kids and to actually build a rapport with them and more than just work. They build a friendship. To this day, actually, I still got some amazing friends that were workers that looked after me at that time. So it's cool that there are people out there that do care as well. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. And it's crazy because like I come from a country that many say is a third world country, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of poverty, and I come from that place, and sometimes people talk to me and they say, oh no, Australia's life in Australia is perfect. There's no poverty in Australia. There's no homeless in Australia. There is no this, there's no that. But when, for example, Sandra says the system is broken, that's what happens. And unfortunately, like the bad, I would say, public money management, the poor public money management, and like how to split wealth, not equally, but like at least fairly, so people can have kind of like a better chance in life, and in situations like you, when you're born in, I can say, like broken family, and then you end up in that situation, and it makes me realize, and now I tell people, no, that like it's not perfect. Life is not perfect.
That's
there's people here going through hard times, like really, really hard times. You guys have no idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's amazing that you can, it's a happy story, and it's amazing that you can come here and tell us. You know?
I feel like there's different ways that people can react, because a lot of the people that I grew up in these refuges, I find out later in years that they are either like in jail or they've like turned to like substance abuse. So I feel like it's also being able to use what you've got and being able to, if you enjoy something, find it and be passionate about it. For me, it was music. I mean, it may not be music for everyone, but for me, that was music. And I guess that's what I followed. And I decided to use a negative situation, I guess, turn that into something positive and kind of help people in that process on the way. So I feel like there's two ways you can either look at life. You can either, go down, or, it was hard and it sucked, and let that kind of dictate you. Or you can use that into something positive and kind of draw hope from some of that pain. Yeah.
And if I could just take from what you said, I also come from a poor country, Romania.
Yeah.
And but this is a thing that Andrew Tate said it. Okay, he lived there, and he said, look, in the UK, because I'm gonna make a parallel with the UK. It's not the same. I feel like Australia is better. As somebody who's lived in 10 countries in the past 10 years, in the UK has been one of them, and now I'm in Australia. There's a lot more homelessness than that in the UK. But then in Romania, you don't really see it. Even though it's a poor country, you don't really see homeless people. And that's because you're not going to throw out your family. We've got that kind of mentality. No matter how bad and rocky it gets, you are not going to throw them out. Yeah. They're going to be sat in the corner and you're going to have rows every day, but they're going to still be there, Yeah. So that's like one good that I think, when you come from a poorer country, you probably will have that sense of community a bit more tight-knit. Yeah.
Totally.
Moving forward, because I know you're a busy man, you're attending to a soccer event now as a guest.
Possibly.
You're a celebrity in Australia, so we don't want to take too much of your time. We know you're always running. But, okay, so D minor. Now you're D minor, right? Now you're not the boy from the refuge anymore. Now you're D minor. Everybody knows you. You got all these people around you. You break through the TV, which is the mainstream. Have you been on TV, Sandra? Been a few times, right? Couple of shows. Yeah. Well, Sandra is an actress herself. Sometimes she talks to me about like TV stuff. The stuff that we can do with the content that we can create. And I'm like, what? Because I'm a social media guy. I don't understand. I understand a lot about things, but if you tell me, like, I can't tell you, like, I know if you put in your mind something, you do it, you're gonna get it. If you dream, work hard, you get it. That basic rule. But technically, I don't know how to explain how things in TV work and how you can make things happen. And you break through because you have an amazing, hot, like breathtaking life story, and you so like beautiful, like you can translate it into art and music, and you touch everybody's heart. Now you are in this position that you're not in the refugee anymore, and you're not an amateur lyrics writer anymore. Now you're in the professional world. What happened to your career after? What is the music world after that?
It was, I would say, Australia's Got Talent, plus also winning that gold medal for Australia is what kind of helped project me into, I guess, the music scene. I got to, pretty much after that, I was on pretty much all the morning shows. So you got Channel 7, 9 and 10, ABCs, SBS, all of the shows. I went on to tour on China. So to China I toured, went to the US to tour, went to New Zealand. LA was amazing. So that tour was probably one of my favorite. Got to tour all around LA. Yeah, hit some amazing spots. And then just continue to write music. Got to go walk the red carpet at the Arias, which was, I would say, another highlight of my career. Being able to actually walk it with like artists from like all around the world.
Name a few. Who did you get to meet?
There was, what's the name? Dua Lipa.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Khalid.
Yeah,
I was walking it with like the Australian artists. There's like Guy Sebastian and
How does it work though? Because after you're going sensational, like labels will contact you, and then you got a manager now, right? And
yes.
What is the dynamics? Like he gets you all these shows and tours and connections?
Yeah, so pretty much so there's a manager, and then I have a bit of a team around it, so a publicist. So the publicist is what basically takes me to like the media events. So the publicist was there at the red carpet. They would tell me to speak to this person and would like direct me and around.
I hope you don't get in trouble for coming to this podcast.
No, but it's very scripted. Like going back to what you were saying about TV. TV is very scripted. Like Australia's Got Talent. It's very organized. Like, you don't know what's going on, but they know what's going on. They know where you're going and everything. So it's very well organized. And that was like the hours as well. So like my publicist would take me to this. They would have everything booked out, which is great because it like, I feel like we talked about this before. It frees you up to just work on your craft, and you have someone else to like just kind of direct you and guide you with behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
And to make that happen. And I feel like that's important, especially as someone that's like creative, like a all of us, being able to just focus on craft and continue to focus on craft and have some kind of other people in the background that can help give you that little leg up and nudge you while you continue to work on your craft.
Yes,
it's important.
man. It's so important. That's exactly what is happening to me at the very moment.